From Studio 3 at Buzz TV, it's The Horse's Mouth with Tom McManus.
All right, time for Campo's Corner here on The Horse's Mouth. Of course, Coach is not here. He's here in spirit. He will be back next week. Always great to have him on board. Brought to you by our good friends at All Dry Services of Southeast Jacksonville. We're going to talk a little sports, going to talk a little business, going to talk a little life with our guest here, Paul Lajoie. He's from Lajoie? Lajoie. He's from BizBuyPro. He's got a book. He's been buying and selling businesses. He's got kids in sports. He's an athlete himself. We're going to talk a little bit of this, a little bit of that right now on The Horse's Mouth. Paul, how are you, my man?
Good.
Good to see you.
Yeah.
Thanks for taking the time. Okay, so your background is helping small businesses, getting them going, and then moving on from them, I guess, right?
Oh, yeah, without a doubt.
Okay, so an exit strategy, if you will.
Yeah, so my background is I've been buying and selling businesses for 25 years.
Okay.
I'm a CPA from an education standpoint, so I've just accumulated some knowledge.
Sure.
It's kind of come second nature to me.
Sure.
So 3, 4, 5 years ago, I just kind of felt like I needed to start paying it forward a little bit.
Okay.
And for those people maybe leaving their job, exiting a W-2, maybe a teacher,
Yep.
maybe military or maybe sports, even if we're going to talk sports today.
Yeah.
They don't know what to do after they leave the sports, then I'm your guy.
Okay.
There's a lot of stuff you need to know about buying a small business and running a small business. And you don't know what you don't know.
Sure.
You think there's 10 things to do, well, there's actually 80.
I bet.
You think there's only 5 hats you need to wear, well, there's 70. So that's kind of what the book is and kind of what I do and what BizBuyPro does. And we kind of just hold your hand through that entire process.
Okay.
From an example, like what legal entity should I use? How do I set it up?
Right.
How to minimize my taxation? All that, I mean, super, super important stuff. And you don't even realize you need to know that stuff. And it's all about building that foundation.
Right.
Super important. If that foundation's bad, all your walls are going to fall
Well, most
down.
people are idea people. I got an idea. Let's go.
Yeah.
Right. Not laying the foundation, laying the groundwork, making sure you're covered, legally everything, and then we go.
Oh my God, there's so many people that have great ideas.
Yeah. No. Right.
And they're not in business anymore because they didn't think it through of all the help that they need to do it right.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
All right. So I'm in business for myself. My wife has a fitness studio for 10 years now. What do you think what's the most challenging in your experiences for small businesses to not just do okay, but take that next leap where they're really making a decent living
I think
based off their business?
It's asking yourself a question, what am I good at?
Okay.
And then what I'm not good at.
Okay.
Right. A lot of people have big egos and think they can do it all.
Right.
And you have that mental conversation with yourself.
Yep.
I'm good at marketing. I'm good at accounting, or I'm good at operations.
Yep.
And these other 6 things you're not good at, hire somebody to fill those holes.
Gotcha.
And I think that's how you grow.
Okay.
Super important.
No, it is. It is. 'Cause I know even speaking for my wife, like you do the same thing. Do the billing, do the marketing, do the promoting, do the, getting the workouts together. I get the guests together, just whatever. It's like you said, you got 80 hats.
Yeah.
You got to do them all, right?
I mean, the term I throw out there is your success team.
Yeah, I like
Right.
it.
Figure out who you need and bring them all together and make sure they all
Absolutely.
have conversations. Yeah.
Okay, I've heard from many people on this show, Paul, that when you start a business or acquire, you should be thinking about your exit strategy already, whether that's 3, 5, 7, 10, whatever it is.
Without a doubt.
Do you agree with that? You do?
Oh,
Okay.
Yeah. I mean, I would say, start with the end in mind. We've always heard that term, and it's 100% applicable here.
Okay.
And I would say once you figure out you want to sell, say it's year 7,
Yep.
you're not going to sell until year 10 if you want to maximize your value. It's a 3-year exit plan.
Okay.
On getting your ducks in a row, your taxes in a row, your standard operating procedures and your operation manuals and all that sort of stuff.
Right.
And you just want to present the best and cleanest business to maximize the value of the exit.
So if your exit strategy is 3 years, in a year and a half, you better be rocking.
Yeah.
In order to
Without a
may
doubt.
have some value, right?
Yep.
I've often wondered the multiples for various industries are all different. How are they set? Is it just by the market? Like kind of a comp, like in real estate, you look at comps and that kind of thing?
I always throw out 3 as a starting point.
Okay.
And then it may go down, it may go up, right? Like let's talk about, if the bigger the company is, the least likely it's going to go to 0. So maybe a bigger multiple, right? Is there a massive barrier to entry? So does the company own $10 million of equipment? I'm going to give maybe a bigger multiple on that. Does it have thousands of customers? Right? Or the exact opposite. Is it one customer? Well, I can go to zero in
a minute.
a minute.
Right.
So maybe it's a 1 multiple on something like that,
Right.
or is it something very easy to get into?
Okay.
Right.
Yep.
So kind of complex. Has it been around 2 years, or has it been around 50?
Right.
I love the ones that have been around 50 because they've been through 10 different economic cycles. They've transpired and done well through a pandemic, right? So. Yep. Is it likely it's going to last another 50? Without a doubt. So I'm going to pay more for that one versus the one that's just come out of the box. So
from a financial look, is it NOI typically for you?
It is. It's operating income, and then definitely with smaller businesses, maybe with a valuation of $5 million and less, they're going to have a bunch of add backs, personal things they ran through the business, cell phones, internet, maybe a car.
Right.
Maybe they did some shady things too. So you're going to add back those owners' add backs as well.
Yeah, I worked for an apartment guy for a little bit on the finances. I just finding debt for him and whatnot. I know you could take, like if you had a big expense in February, you could spread it out, right? Because that's not a normal expense. Is that true to a certain degree?
You can spread it out over the useful life. That's more kind of a matching principle if you want to geek out and talk CPA
I don't know if everybody in the small business world knows those kind of things, right? I mean,
you want to match with revenue and expense. So if that expense is maybe it's going to provide benefit for 2 years, or maybe you spread out that expense over 2 years because the revenue is generated wants to match that expense.
Okay, very cool. All right, let's talk sports. You're a soccer player from Notre Dame.
I did.
All right, grew up in Dallas.
I grew up in Dallas.
Been an athlete your whole life.
I have been.
You got a couple athletes. You got 5 kids? You said
5 kids.
And 4 athletes. Or are they all? Maybe they're probably all athletic.
Yeah, they're all athletes. Exactly. 3 played college ball.
Okay, very cool. What was it like playing soccer at Notre Dame?
Oh, I loved playing soccer.
Were you guys good? We had good teams?
We were good. My junior year, I think we ended up ranked 9th in the country.
Okay.
So we were really good.
You striker, defenseman? What were you?
Man, defenseman.
Okay.
I was kind of center back.
Tackling dudes.
I like
you could take them out back then too. Good, couldn't you?
You could. Yeah. You could almost kill somebody back then, and it might not even be a yellow card back then.
Oh, right.
Exactly.
Isn't that funny? I mean, football is same. The violence was more violent back in the 90s. It is today. It's still violent, but you could do a lot more back.
Oh yeah,
in the day.
You hit somebody, and now they hear your footsteps.
Yeah.
And you can't do that stuff now.
Okay, let's people that are going from sports, like a career, to figuring out what they're going to do next, and they don't want to just go get a job. Right. They want to be in business for themselves. Because when you're in the NFL especially, you're in business for yourself, right? You got to produce, they pay you.
Without a doubt.
You got to keep the brand, you everything, right? Is it all just passion first? Like, what would you say to them if they're watching this show? Like, okay, you got to find a path, right? What's my small business idea going to be? Or what business am I going to look at? Is it passion? Is it, hey, think about what people need? Like, look into the market and see what's working in the market. What would you say to?
Man, I'm a numbers guy.
Okay.
So I like income, and I like to project that business is still going to be around in 10 years.
Okay.
Right. So
fair.
things are changing very quickly with artificial intelligence and virtual assistants and that type of stuff. So that's super scary. Passion is a word that's thrown out a lot. I don't like that. Follow your passion and you'll never work a day of your life. Yeah.
Yep. Well, that's not true.
That's great, but if you're not making any money, it's your passion, then what are you doing, right? If you want to give, if that's charitable, then that's great. I would say, what industries do you like? Okay. So wake up one morning like, okay, I'm going to buy a business. Okay, what industries like? Let's talk about home services. I love home services. Yep. So the 40 different companies that work in that space, from HVAC, electrical, plumbing, roofing, painting, window replacement, pest control, whatever, anything in there. I mean, we have houses. Everybody's going to have to get them worked on, right? Yeah. Even in a recession or a worldwide pandemic, your HVAC goes out. Yeah. You got to replace it.
As you know, private equity's been buying those people up crazy. Yeah. I know locally. I know a few that have been.
They love it. They're doing a lot of vertical roll-ups.
Absolutely.
Exactly. So I love that space. Okay. And then I think the next thing is, how much money do you need to make?
Okay.
Right. So if you need to make $500,000 a year, and we talked about multiples already, and let's say the average multiple's 3, well, you're going to be buying a company for $1.5 million.
Okay.
Okay.
Gotcha. Yeah. Right.
And then you're ready to roll. But super scary again. I mean, do you know what to do?
Yeah.
Yeah. Read my book.
Yeah.
Right. So
where can they find the book? The Exit Plan.
The Exit Plan. It drops July 3rd on Amazon.
Okay. Cool.
Okay. So it's just literally hot off the presses.
Very cool.
So this is everything you need to know. Complete blueprint, A to Z, on what you need to do, how to value a business, how to negotiate valuation, how to set up your legal entity, how to minimize your taxations. What do I do with sales tax? What do I do with payroll tax? all this sort of stuff. So it is in here. We hold your hand through the entire process because it is kind of scary.
Cool.
Right.
Awesome, my man. Awesome. Thanks so much for being here.
Awesome.
It was fun talking to you. Yeah, that's good
Thanks
stuff.
for having me.
All right, that'll do it for us this time around here on The Horse's Mouth. You can see Paul and this conversation and his profile. Just go to dailynewsnetwork.com. Don't forget to check out the Exit Plan. It drops July 3rd on Amazon. Until next time, y'all stay safe and y'all stay cool out there, and we'll see you right here on The Horse's Mouth. Cheers.
Cheers, guys.
My name is Todd Marshall, and I own All Dry Services of Southeast Jacksonville. We serve all of Northeast Florida. Every day our business is doing the more mundane, but yet sometimes catastrophic issues. These can be plumbing leaks, they can be sewage backups. A bathtub overflows, somebody leaves the sink running. So we have a 24/7 response. If you call us, you're going to get a live person, and you try to get out there as quick as possible so that we can minimize the damage.